Welcome back to Desk Pop. Today, we're talking about the GeForce Arms Jawbone 9mm. This is a $399 AR9 from GeForce Arms, if that wasn't obvious by the fact that I called it the GeForce Arms Jawbone. And yeah, today we're going to get into, is this gun good? Is it worth buying? And more importantly, does it function? Because it comes in at so affordable, so cheap, that I had to get my hands on one and try it out for you. Let's get it. Before we get too deep into this, guys, I do have to keep the lights on, and so that's a huge shout out to Gideon Optics. You see them on all the optics. HSL Ammunition, you see their bullets being shot by me nonstop this whole time. And of course, this month, AS Designs, they make devices that you might be interested in looking at on their website. Now remember, if you use code PLEASE! If you use code PLEASE at any of their checkouts, it tells them to support the channel, and that is super important because it keeps my channel alive. Now, the most prominent question that you're probably wondering is, what the heck is this thing? What features does it come with for my 399 schmeckles? And in some cases, it's actually less expensive than that. That's just their MSRP, I believe. This comes with a lot of features. You do get a lot for your bucks. It is a top side charging upper receiver, so there is no charging handle on the rear. It's a top side charging upper receiver. It is worth noting that you'll see that my magazine release here was just triggered, and when I pull this back, it can't reach far enough back to drop the bolts. So there is no putting it in, racking it the cool guy way, and rechambering around. You do have to use the bolt release. And that does go forward to, if you intend to install something like a super safety or an FRT, just be aware that you will not be able to rack the bolt enough to activate the super safety. You will have to fire the weapon in order to activate the super safety. So if there is any tuning that needs to be done, then you will have to do it on the range, because you can't just rack this back far enough to reset the super safety, which made me a little concerned when I was installing this at home. But yeah, if you do need to tune it to activate the super safety, then you do so as much. It comes with full ambi controls, so you'll notice I'm using this finger here to activate the bolt release, but it does have a bolt release on the other side as well. It is a nice dual-sided bolt release, and I do like how they did it. They basically just put a little rod through, and the little rod does make it pretty easy to say I need to lock the bolt back here. Since this is my charging handle, I need to be able to use my free hand to activate the bolt to lock it back. So it's actually well thought out. That's a very good feature there, and I do really like that. I can't be too sure on the upper receiver that you are getting with this, but I have a really strong feeling that it is a FM Foxtrot mic 9mm AR upper receiver, and then the GeForce Arms Jawbone lower is just a full polymer lower. It does have a metal insert in the rear for the buffer tube, which I think is worth noting because I'm pretty against polymer lowers. 9mm doesn't have a lot of recoil, so polymer should be fine, and then they reinforced the rear with some sort of metal. And to my surprise, the castle nut is actually staked down properly. It's torqued correctly. It's not staked, but it is torqued correctly. So actually, looking at the castle nut here, there is in fact no castle nut in cut for them to have staked the castle nut anyway. But it's torqued down. It hasn't come loose at all, which I think is a big plus. Buffer tube has been very solid. The stock that it comes with is a brace, and the brace that it comes with is as good as you would expect any brace to be, which is to say that it's really bad. It feels awful when you shoulder the firearm, but it's a handgun, so you know you're definitely mostly shooting it like this anyway, so it doesn't really matter that the brace is whack. It's a standard AR-15 buffer tube, so if you have an SBA-3, SBA-5 at home, go ahead and swap it out. I will say that with this only being 399 bones, it becomes very quickly expensive to kit out, or very quickly more expensive to kit out. So if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, the $399 AR9 build, it's not. You're still going to have to buy an optic. You're still going to have to buy... I put a hand stop on here only because I put a suppressor on it. It runs really well suppressed. I like the way that it's running suppressed, and obviously if you're going to run super safety or an FRT, a suppressor does help make it run a little bit quicker. That being said, I don't think you necessarily need all this stuff, but worth including in the cost. The costs rack up really fast. And the reason I mention that is because the buffer tube spring that it comes with is just a cut spring. It was very surprising when I opened this thing up and I found it had just a standard AR9 buffer, so that's very normal, but a cut spring. So I actually did swap mine for a hydraulic buffer that costs a lot more money. It's a $110 purchase, so that immediately brought the cost up to over $500. And then I just put a regular AR spring in there because I had it. It locks open with 1 round left in the mag. Well, I guess it's time to disclose my relationship with G4 Arms. I purchased this retail from a retail store, and the retail store also did not even give me a discount. So that is the relationship with them. That is how I got this gun. I was just so excited to see a $399 AR9. And if you guys haven't noticed by the trend on the channel, I've kind of been on a 9mm PCC style kick. So 9mm, PCCs, PDWs, I really like those. So I want an AR9, and this one's super cheap, and I had to see, is it good? Is it okay? And I know that a guy who is just getting super into the PCCs and AR9s is maybe not the best person to tell you if a gun is good or not, but I'm here to tell you if it works and how it shoots. So yeah, no relationship with G4 Arms. I think that's worth noting. G4 does send guns to the old FFL that I used to work at, to a state that I no longer live in. So every once in a while I get told by a customer that shops there that I have a gun that showed up for me. So G4, if you're trying to get a hold of me, you're trying to send me guns, just reach out. My email is available, and I also have emailed you guys before. And I'll send you a real FFL for one that's in the state that I live in, so I can hopefully get those guns and shoot them. That'd be really nice. And as I mentioned, the grip with the thing here, and if I didn't mention it, I guess I'm mentioning it again because my cameraman thinks that I didn't mention it, and but I think I did. The grip doesn't hold mags super securely for me until I put, you could use a piece of hard plastic, you could use a piece of cardboard. I literally just used cardboard from an ammo box, and then I taped it on here. I don't have goon tape, or I would have goon taped it. I used the grip tape, but the cool part is that now this is just a little more grippy for me. So kind of a win, but it did make it usable. So that was one thing that I was very frustrated on, was like, what's the point of giving it this super weird grip thing if it can't even perform its regular function? And then I discovered that it's just because I have regular sized fingers and normal fingers, and so I happen to ride the you can see it on this side, the little button thing where you could push it to release the magazine. So anyway, I taped that over and it was good to go. So that is pretty much it for the overview. You get full ambi controls. It takes Glock mags. I feel like that's really obvious. I didn't say that it takes Glock mags, but you can see Glock mags sticking out of it. So it takes Glock mags there. I guess I said it. And let's get into how it freaking shoots. So how does the gun shoot? Well, it shoots exactly like a 9mm direct blowback PCC would shoot, which is to say that it shoots well. Once I swapped the hydraulic buffer and the standard AR buffer spring in there, it became such a soft shooter that it would no longer actuate the super safety. If there's a company that makes a super safety kit for the AR9, something that makes it softer shooting but still actuate the super safety consistently, that'd be fantastic. Until then, I switched back to the regular standard buffer spring and weight combo. The hydraulic buffer is gone, just to use it with the super safety because it's such a cheap gun. I want to just have fun with it. It's going to stay a fun gun. So that being said, the hydraulic buffer and the hydraulic spring shoots exactly like a DD PCC. The Daniel Defense is also utilizing a hydraulic buffer, so that would be why it feels very similar to the Daniel Defense one. And why I'm mentioning it is because I don't think many of you will be buying this to super safety for fun. I think a lot of you guys will want to use it hard use. So the hydraulic buffer and our standard AR spring combo does work. It does seem to be the meta on this. It makes it shoot incredibly soft, so soft again that it can't push the trigger forward on the reverse when you have it in super safety mode. So that being said, it's a great shooting gun. When you do that, it is a very comfortable firearm, and it's been extremely reliable for me. So I think that that's worth noting. That's probably what you guys all want to know, like, does the gun actually work? And it does. It gets dirty really, really fast, but I've been running it suppressed, and I haven't had any failures to fire as a result of it being being dirty. I just did clean it because man, it just got caked in dirt. It's direct blowback, it's 9mm, it's dirty little gun. So that being said, it shoots great. It's a very fun gun. I will be changing the charging handle because the way that it sits now, it physically cannot be, this top rail is just useless. They might as well have not put it on here. So luckily, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a Foxtrot mic upper receiver, and by pretty sure I mean it will take Foxtrot mic upper receiver parts from people that I've talked to. So I intend to swap this out for the straight pull one, which should free up this rail here so I can actually put a light or a laser on here or something for night vision to make it more fun. I think the mediator is at home on 9mm PCCs, so this is probably the dot that you're going to see me run on pretty much any PCC style rifle. Small dots I like. I mean, it's a whole small package. There's no reason to put something big on it. This is lightweight. It has a big enough window to see. I did move off of their mediator mount, and I moved it to a Reptilia acro mount, which I just kind of like the look of. That is not for functionality, that is for the aesthetics and the clout, which I do not get because I am not a cool guy anyway. So that being said, I mean, it's a gun that will run, and for 399 bones, it is a steal. It makes it a cheap, one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest, 9mm PCCs on the market, and it gets the strong recommend from me. In terms of functionality and use, it seems to be good. So the polymer lower is kind of a concern at first, and then you realize that it's thicker than an AR-15 lower, which you'll notice the recessed amount of the super safety lever and the trigger pins, so that's something to be considered. When I tried to swap out the nice 45-degree safety selector that it comes with to put the super safety or the FRT in, it did fit the FRT one, but it is worth noting it's a little bit of a squeeze because it sure is just so slightly wider than a standard AR-15/AR9 lower that's made in aluminum. That being said, I'm not complaining about that because I want the strength, I'll take it. So I don't know how much there is all to say about it. If you are looking for a quality 9mm PCC for really, really budget prices, it seems to be here. It seems to be this item, and I don't know if it gets better than this for that price point. I mean, you get the $1,000 price range and you start getting into roller delayed blowback systems. But if you want a direct blowback, $399 is pretty dang hard to argue with for value prop. Yeah, so if you are in the market for a 9mm PCC, the GeForce Arms Jawbone may be the place to go. If you are looking for something that's like home defense and you intend to run it suppressed, I will note this is just a 5.5-inch 9mm PCC. So you're basically buying a Glock 17 with AR controls. That being said, it does cost significantly the same amount as a used Glock 17, less than a new one, way less than a new one, and then you get the benefits of it obviously being the rifle platform. How dare I say that? People in the comments are going angry. Oh, it's a pistol. You get yours back. It's a PCC. Whether you like it or not. So this is a great, fantastic system. I really do like it. It's quite comfortable. Price point is hard to argue with. The one thing to fix, obviously, is for me, the mag thing here. I keep pressing it with my fingers, so I'm glad I fixed that. I've gotten that taken care of. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Don't forget that if you don't subscribe below or you don't comment anything on this video, YouTube won't show it to anyone else. So go ahead and do that. And you can find us on Instagram to get new updates on our posts, because Instagram will put us in your feed, even though YouTube will not. We'll catch you in the next one.